And then there were four games remaining in the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship here at Curry Field in Regina. And 4 is also the amount of teams left in contention for the title, including this group, the 2-time defending champions from Quebec, and one of the surprising teams in this 10-team tournament, Dan Esty, Team Saskatchewan, who won Pool A to earn a direct berth into this morning's semifinal affair.
Yeah, coming into this tournament, I think everyone expected one team from Saskatchewan that was going to have a pretty good shot at a medal, but if you would have told me that 2 Saskatchewan teams would have been here come Sunday morning, I don't think too many people, Peter, would have had that on their bingo card.
These 2 teams met on opening day in Game 1 on Thursday, and it really, in many ways, propelled Saskatchewan to that first-place finish because they beat the team they're playing today. Quebec 4-3, a bit of a controversial ending to that particular game. And the gentleman on the mound that day for Saskatchewan is, again, it is Rhett Fazer, who threw a 7-inning gem against this very talented, very deep Team Quebec group. Gave up 3 runs, 9 hits, struck out 6, and walked 1. Great to have you with us, no matter where you might be looking in on this final Sunday of what's been a marvelous event here in Regina. As Jonathan Martin, the outstanding outfielder, leads things off for Quebec. He is in left field today.
Good pitch there from Rhett Fazer that just misses the outside corner for ball 2. Looking at the Quebec lineup today, one person missing that's definitely going to make a difference is outfielder Moises Perez, who unfortunately was hit by a pitch yesterday and is not in the lineup today. We hope that Moises is all right. He did have to take a trip to the hospital yesterday. But I've heard he's resting comfortably now. So, Moises, if you're listening in, we hope you're feeling better, man.
Absolutely. Scary scene last night at Optimus Park in their 11-2 quarterfinal victory over Alberta, the Calgary Rockies. That conversation will tell you there's a lot on the line.
Mm-hmm.
The 2-2 to Martin misses up.
I have 3-2.
The 28-year-old Martin from L'Assomption, Quebec, is 5 for 15 this week in Regina. He's doubled and driven in a run. Broken bat caught by Rhett Fazer, the product of Unity, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, good play there by Fazer as he not only had to make that catch, but also avoid the bat flying by in there just to the right and able to squeeze that one and record the first out here in the top of the first inning.
Third baseman Josue Pelly, a staple of this group. The 37-year-old from Quebec City, playing at third base, and takes a breaking ball over for strike 1.
We talk about keys of the game here for Rhett Fazer as he starts off here in the top of the first. Last time he threw against this Quebec team, that one just fouled down the left field line. Changing of speeds, Peter, changing of locations, able to mix speeds for sure and keep this Quebec team off balance as we were just talking about before we came on the air. They had a pretty big game last night against Team Alberta, putting up 11 runs, so they're coming into this game hot on the bat, so Rhett Fazer going to have his work cut out for him today.
They have 24 runs, Dan, in their last 2 games, because in their final round-robin game, they put up 13 runs in 6 at-bats.
Animated.
It's a lot of damage in 2 games.
And this is a very capable group trying for a three-peat. This is a difficult play for Baumel. And Joel delivers for out number 2.
Good play there by Baumel as he cuts in front of the shortstop, Peyton Friesen. able to pick this one up on a couple of hops. Strong throw to first base,
We
and
meet again.
Pelly retired
Yeah.
for the second out here in the top of the first inning.
The right fielder is David Gauthier, who is one of their top pitchers. He is an excellent batter back home in the Quebec Senior League. Batted nearly 290. In fact, he batted 298
Yeah, I had it right on the edge.
during the
Yeah,
course
you're-
of the year. And so far in this tournament, he is 3 for 9 at home plate with a couple of runs batted in. And delivers hit number 4. So right into the number 3 hole where Moises Perez,
much.
a spot he had occupied, the injured player,
Great
and
job, buddy.
Gauthier delivers.
Yeah, great job there by Gauthier. Keeps the hands back, drives that one into right field, and Team Quebec with their first base runner of the day with center fielder Raphael Gladue coming to the plate.
Gladue might be one of the most complete players participating in this entire event from what I have seen. A one-time 16th round pick of the New York Mets back in 2017 is 8 for 18 here. He has doubled 6 times and has 2 runs batted in.
Certainly possesses a lot of power and able to get the bat on the ball as well, as Phaser gets ahead of him quickly, though 0-2. But always a dangerous hitter at the plate, that's for sure.
2 strikes.
Did not participate in the Canadians a year ago, but did help this group win in Red Deer in 2023. On the move is Gauthier, and there'll be absolutely no opportunity for Josh Cleggett behind home plate to throw him out. He's the battery mate of Phaser. Joel Baumel is at third base.
I got
Peyton Friesen's the shortstop. Devin Farrell at second. Dylan Soley, whose bat is heating up, is at first base. Gladue, a base hit. Geisler, who has a strong arm, will come home. And it was actually a little closer than I thought it might be. But Gladue has his third run batted in, and Quebec on the board here in the first inning.
We talk about doing the small things right, and you look at the pitch before that. Gauthier able to steal second base without a throw, and then Gladue, such a great hitter, able to drive that ball up the middle, and Team Quebec on the board early in this one on the RBI single from him as they now lead 1-0.
Lucas Geisler, the 19-year-old from Belcaris, he has had a marvelous tournament.
Why?
As I mentioned, made that a tad closer than I thought it was going to be as Gauthier rounded. Ochoa drives one into right. Here comes Gladue. They'll cut it off smartly. Ochoa's caught in a rundown as they've scored. Nobody at the bag yet. Now there is. And finally,
That run counts. That run counts.
not exactly
Count that
how
run.
you would draw it up. But Ochoa with another run batted in. He's the Quebec Senior League leader in that category during the year with 39. It's 2-0 for the two-time defending champs as they'll take the field when we return in the semifinal on the final day of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship. Quebec off to a great beginning. They scored 2 runs in the top of the first and will hand the ball on this semifinal Sunday to number 14, 33-year-old Thetford Mines product. Jonathan Paquette has thrown 1 inning so far in Regina. It was a hitless, scoreless inning in a game earlier in the week against the Etobicoke Rangers. And I know you are familiar, Mr. Esty, with this gentleman. Tell us why he has a chance to be very successful today.
Well, he's well rested coming into this game, like you said, Peter. 1 inning so far in this year's championships. Has had an excellent year with the Unicavas de Thetford in the LBMQ, including a no-hitter that he's thrown in that league this year. So certainly has great stuff to be able to perform well here at the park today.
Pitched in a very similar situation 1 year ago in Tecumseh, Ontario. 6 very strong innings and a playoff win over Manitoba. On that day, he shut down Manitoba, gave up 5 hits, struck out 5, and walked 3. And that was a quarterfinal game. Tom Hooker leads things off. He's the designated hitter. He was shaken up a couple of games ago, missed a game, came back to hit yesterday in their final round robin game, a 12-2 victory over Team BC, the Victoria Mavericks, to clinch top spot in Pool A.
Yeah, Hooker, kind of the catalyst for this lineup at the top, and able to get things going throughout the tournament, and puts a charge into one here that's short right field, and that one's going to get down just over the head of Leonardo Ochoa, just like he's done all tournament, Peter. He has things rolling here for the Saskatchewan offense in the bottom of the first.
Tom is his 5th hit of the competition, and when you give up a couple early, it's exactly the start you're looking for, as it just did elude Leonardo Ochoa, who drove in the second Quebec run. And the batter is 23-year-old Belcaris product, Josh Cleggett, and he can flat out fly.
Saw that on display yesterday a few times, few hits that he had to gaps, and being able to come around and score some very important runs for Team Saskatchewan in their pool play.
He's a member of the Regina Rockies of the Qu'Appelle Valley League. 4 for 13 during the tournament with 3 runs batted in. His big game came against New Brunswick in a massive comeback win when they trailed 5-0 and won 9-5. He had 3 hits in that game with a triple, a check swing, and a couple of runs batted in for Josh Cleggett.
Regardless of the outcome of today's games for him, he, as you said, he will have a little more baseball left after this, as they'll take on the Trappers in the Qu'Appelle Valley final, which is going to, I'm assuming, probably take place the week following this event.
And a good fastball from Paquet. And he has his first strikeout of the game as he sits down Cleggett.
Yeah, real good fastball here from Paquet. Gets that one on the inside corner. You see catcher Guillaume Morin kind of give him the point there to, show him there. Yeah, way to hit that spot, and Cleggett down on strikes for the first out here in the bottom of the first.
First baseman, 25-year-old Dylan Soley. 5 for 9. It gets away from the catcher, Guillaume Morin, and Tom Hooker looks just fine as he speeds his way down to second and did not hesitate in the process.
Not at all, and we saw something like this make a difference in the first inning when David Gauthier was able to steal a bag and get into scoring position. So we'll see if Dylan Soley can come through here as well and get his team on the board.
Dylan's 5 for 9, and another pitch that eludes Morin from Paquet. I'll have to double check on the pronunciation. You're going with Paquet?
Jonathan Paquet. Yep.
Sometimes it can be Paquette.
We could have either one there, I think. Hopefully I'm saying it right. If not, I'm sure
we'll probably quickly find out.
My phone will start dinging here in a minute.
It has a tendency to when it involves blue, solely a soft liner that is gobbled up by Ochoa for out number 2. And that pitch really tailed in nicely on the right-handed hitting first baseman.
Yeah, good pitch there as you see this fastball going to tail right in on the hands of Dylan Soley, and it's just a soft line drive to the second baseman, Leonardo Ochoa. He's able to squeeze the ball, and 2 outs now for Team Saskatchewan.
And with the train horns going off in the background, thank you for joining into the tournament. We appreciate it. The batter is the shortstop, Peyton Friesen, who's moved from his regular number 2 hole into the cleanup spot, and for good reason. Friesen with a drive back up the middle that will score Tom Hooker with the first Saskatchewan run.
And we're early in this one, Peter, but that is such an important hit. You get a runner into scoring position early, and what that does is it now shows the other team you're here and ready to play, and you're not going to leave those runners stranded on base. You see Tom Hooker getting some congratulations there from his teammates in the dugout as he comes across with the first Saskatchewan run in this one. It's 2-1 Quebec now.
And it's Peyton Friesen's first run batted in. He's also a member of the Regina Rockies of the Qu'Appelle Valley League. And now, 19-year-old center fielder Lucas Geisler. Ochoa!
Wow. Nice play there.
It was a nice play indeed to take a hit away from Geisler, who had 3 hits against Quebec in the round-robin meeting on Thursday. Off to a good start. 2-1 Quebec in this semifinal affair at the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championships.
You'll be surprised, man. These guys.
$25-year-old Edouard Savoie from Saint Eustache leading things off. Quebec in front 2-1. Feels like an important run for Saskatchewan early that shortstop Peyton Friesen drove in the bottom half of the inning. And now, which pitcher will settle in and put up a 0 or 2? As Savoie fouls that back. He hit .500 in last year's Canadians, 12 for 24. He only has 4 at-bats in this tournament, and all of them came on opening day against Team Saskatchewan. So I don't know if he's been dealing with an injury. Chances are maybe he has.
Yeah, it's hard to say. A lot of teams kind of keep stuff like that close to the vest if it's not something that's kind of a visual injury to everyone. Let's put it that way. But yeah, a little less time on the field here for Edouard this year, but definitely one of their more veteran players for sure that's been around in this provincial team for a while.
Dylan Soley, you can see the sun off the sunglasses. And he records out number 1.
Good pitch there from Fazer as he's able to get in on the hands of Edouard Savoie. He pops that one up to Soley at first base. and he makes the catch for the first out here in the top of the second inning.
Michel Dagenet,
Hey, buddy.
who's playing over at first base, does a lot of catching. The 28-year-old who had a spectacular Canadians 1 year ago in Ontario with 10 hits. He has 4 so far in Regina. He's 4 for 15 with a double, a triple, and 3 runs batted in. And one of those runs batted in came against Team Saskatchewan in the 4-3 loss on Thursday. As Phaser with a fastball in but misses.
As you said, Peter, not having the best tournament, but someone that definitely possesses a lot of power, as we've seen during his regular season stats with 14 home runs, which I believe not only leads the Quebec League, but also leads probably in the country. So definitely someone that can do some damage if the ball ends up in the wrong spot of the strike zone.
And while Quebec would be the team with far more pressure on their shoulders as the two-time defending champions, the other factor is this. Been there, done that.
Absolutely.
And it really matters.
Absolutely. When you've been in these pressure type situations before and you've been able to come out of those situations, more importantly, with victories, and the majority of the guys in these teams have been there these last 2 years, that definitely gives you a foot up for sure.
And this is a gentleman at home plate that could get red hot on a day like this.
Absolutely.
And if he does, it's trouble for the opponents.
Mm-hmm.
But Phaser working well to him. Down and in.
Thing that has impressed me the most about Phaser and watching him throw, this is his second time now in this tournament, is he doesn't get phased by too much. Like Quebec comes out, gets 2 runs in the top of the first inning, then he's right back out going to work, sticking with his game plan here, trying to hit spots and working hard to keep his team in this game. So I like that from the young lefty.
Well, he was the winning pitcher and went the complete 7 innings in the victory over this same Quebec team. But ramp up the importance by about 10.
Absolutely.
Dagenet, Geisler on the run, but he will not get to it. And there is a base hit for first baseman Michel Dagenet.
Really good pitch there from Phaser. Gets right in on the hands of Dagenet, but really good piece of hitting there as he tries to get as much of the barrel on the bat as he can there, and just enough to drop that one into short center field. Quebec has a base runner on first here with 1 out, and catcher Guillaume Morin coming to the plate.
He's from Brossard, Quebec, 5 for 12 in Regina, with 3 runs batted in. 1 on, 1 out. There's a strike from Phaser on the outer portion. Moran looks down for a sign and says he's ready to go. And Moran finds a hole. Back-to-back base hits for Dagenet and Moran, and Quebec threatening again.
A little bit of a missed spot here on this one. We'll have a look at it, but saw where the catcher was set up there. It looked like he was a little bit on the inner part of the plate, and that one kind of hangs out over the plate, and Moran makes no mistakes as he ropes that one into left field for a single, and Quebec threatening here again, first and second with 1 out.
Tristan Aspect, the 24-year-old, he's back in the lineup. Played against Saskatchewan on opening day and went 0 for 3. Showed bunt, pulled the bat back. Batting .351 this year for the Jets de Montreal. That's the first time I tried it the other way.
Not bad.
Thank you. Appreciate it. 1 for 6 in this tournament. And Claggett goes to third for the force out and showed no hesitation in doing so.
No, that was, tried to push that button a little bit further, obviously, and kind of denned it up too much, and a little bit of backspin there. Perfect spot for Claggett. steps up, confident throw to third base, and able to get the runner there by a couple of steps for the second out of the inning.
To the top of the order in left fielder Jonathan Martin, who broken bat lined out to the pitcher a very short time ago. He's 5 for 16 in the tournament. And looks at a strike.
Pretty good location there from Fazer, right on the outside corner at the knees.
Dagenet and Aspect, the runners at second and first. And Fazer would love nothing more than to work his way out of trouble, as the Quebec batting machine has been working at full cylinders. And a good swing by Martin, who hit .280 on the way to the gold medal last year.
I have 1-2.
He is hitting .423 back home. Another member of the Jets de Montréal.
Few players here from that team this year, which is good to see. Tristan Aspect joining a couple of guys that have been on this team for a few years now, and that's a great pitch there by Fazer. Slider in on the hands, gets Jonathan Martin to check his swing, but goes too far, and he's down on strikes to retire the side.
First strikeout is very crucial early. A 0 on the board against Quebec, but they lead it 2-1. Saskatchewan to bat when we return in this semi-final affair.
Umpire cam.
2-1. Quebec in front of Team Saskatchewan in this semi-final game. The two other teams left in contention for the title. The host, Regina Trappers, who finished first with a 3-1 record
Yeah, it's like
to capture top spot in Pool B, and they'll take on the Charlottetown Islanders, representing New Brunswick, and they, in beyond impressive fashion, down Manitoba 11-1 last night in a quarterfinal. A bounder for Kobe Kindrachuk, and the throw by Paquet goes astray. And Team Saskatchewan's Kindrachuk aboard as the leadoff batter.
Tough play there for pitcher Jonathan Paquet. As we see high bounder, Kobe Kindrachuk going to make his way down to first base, and that throw wide, and he will remain at first base. I would say that one probably going to get scored a hit.
play.
If it is, for Kobe Kindrachuk, the 29-year-old from Saskatoon, it's his fifth in 10 official at-bats.
As I pull it up here on my game changer, it is scored a hit. So fifth hit for him.
Joel Baumel, the 20-year-old from Lake Lenore. And it gets away from Dagenais. Kindrachuk on his way to try to get to third, and he will.
And Peter, we talk about defense and pitching, and we've talked about it all week. And right now, Saskatchewan threatening early in this inning. Runners at the corners, nobody out. We had a high chopper, tough play. But that one there, kind of a routine play to first base, and just squirts under the glove of Michel Dagenais into short right field, and very, very good base running there by Kobe Kindrachuk as he gets himself to third base.
Play.
He is aggressive on the base pass. So runners at the corners. No one out is Team Saskatchewan with a terrific opportunity to draw even. Infield at double play depth. Farrell punches it. And Aspect with a good turn, but not in time to get second baseman Devin Farrell. And he goes the other way. The run comes home.
You'll agree with me.
And we're all even again at 2.
Good play there by Dagenais. He ranges to get that one. Solid throw to Aspect at short. He throws on to first base to Jonathan Paquette, but unfortunately, the Saskatchewan runner beats that throw by about a step. He reaches on the fielder's choice. More importantly, Peter, brand new ball game now, tied 2-2.
Is Team Saskatchewan. And you know that this is just a group that will never go away. They have illustrated that. And really the win that put them over in the round robin is Dylan Smith comes to the plate, the right fielder. Another speedster. And Saskatchewan has 3 or 4 of them in their lineup. That's part of what makes them successful.
Ball, that's out.
Was the game against New Brunswick. In the round robin. They trailed 5-0 in the third inning. Ended up winning the game 9-5. They scored 4 in the bottom of the 6th, and that put them over in the round robin. So the other thing that they have going for them is they won't panic when they fall behind.
And if you don't think teams are paying attention to that stuff out here, don't kid yourself. Trust me, there's been lots of chatter going around about the Saskatchewan team, and they never quit. As you said, they're never out of a game, always sticking around, always kind of chipping away at leads. And definitely today, Team Quebec going to have their hands full if they're going to get to another gold medal game.
Dylan Smith, just 21 years of age from Humboldt. And a swing and a miss on a pitch from Paquette, who's trying to find his groove early in the game. Dylan only has 6 at-bats in the tournament. 5 of them are hits. On the move is Farrell, but ball 4 the call. And Team Saskatchewan again putting pressure on the 2-time defending champions from Quebec.
Great job there by the number 9 hitter, Dylan Smith, as he fouled off a couple of tough pitches there for sure. Works a walk to get runners on first and second here, and we're back to the top of the order for designated hitter Tom Hooker.
And Tom opened the game offensively for Team Saskatchewan with another hit. His 5th of the tournament. He's 5 for 15.
Ball.
And Paquette, who has really good stuff, struggling just a little with location.
That's down. Ball.
As you hear from our home plate umpire, Steve Cochran, that pitch misses down. And again, Peter, we've talked about this all week, but the great audio that we've gotten off the field from our umpires who have graciously agreed to mic themselves up behind home plate. So thanks to Steve again for doing that today for us.
And in all sincerity, what it has really done is jumping around is Farrell, and a swing and a miss by Tom Hooker.
Full count, 3-2.
Is it allows people to get a different feel for what the umpires do, how they communicate, how they work. I think that's so important. You know, in so many ways, in every sport, it's kind of a us against them type of mentality.
Right.
But this gives them, we connect with them this week when you hear
Absolutely.
all that's going on.
There's great insight into the game, and you know, there's a difference between watching on our live stream and then being able to hear from down on the field while you're watching that live stream. Kind of gives you a different aspect of, you know, when you sit at home and say, well, that looked like a great pitch, and you kind of get an insight into how tough it really is.
It's been one of my favorite parts of the whole week.
Just an excellent at-bat here from Tom Hooker. 2 or 3 really, really good pitches there from Jonathan Paquette, and he's able to foul those off out of play.
Still only the 1 out. Full count to another player from Humboldt. A member of the Marysburg Royals of the Saskatoon Senior Men's League. They won the regular season standings battle. Came up a little short in the playoffs, and it was an interesting playoff format, too.
They ended up losing in the semifinals to a very young and very tough Saskatoon River Pirates team in their playoffs.
Hooker, Dagenet again fights it, but close enough to the bag where he was able to record the out.
Yeah, good job there by Dagenet, able to knock that down. Pretty hard hit ball there from Tom Hooker, and a little bit of a bobble, but that ball sits right down in front of the first baseman. He's able to run over and step on the bag himself, and 2 outs, but 2 runners in scoring position here for the catcher, Josh Claggett.
Well, Saskatchewan has tied the game after giving up the first 2 runs in the top half of the first. And Claggett with an opportunity to put them ahead, and he had a good rip.
Really close.
And you saw him just give a shake of the head to say, ooh, I had a good pitch to work with.
Yeah, that was a middle fastball, and he just got underneath that and fouled it back to the backstop.
Josh struck out against Jonathan Paquette. Lifts this high in the air. Gauthier comes in to end the inning.
Yeah.
But scrappy Saskatchewan
Steve.
claws another run out. And this semi-final game is tied at 2 here in Regina.
Hey guys, Donnie with Extreme Hockey and Umbrella Marketing Solutions. Really excited to throw this video that we have partnered with the National Baseball Championships that are hosted in Regina. As you know, we love getting behind our community and supporting these kind of events. This is just an absolute honor to be a part of this championship.
Stop in at 1425 McIntyre Street in Regina. We will have sales on all weekend. I will also be kicking around at the event for a few days, so if you have any questions about team, corporate gear, pull me aside and let's have a chat.
A 2-2 tie after 2 in our first of 2 semifinal games on this championship Sunday. We'll crown a champion this evening. The Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship, and to everyone involved.
Yeah.
It has been a terrific few days.
I think that's a bit of an understatement, Peter. This has been probably one of the best men's nationals that I've either attended or watched, and certainly been a lot of fun here. And just a huge, huge thank you before we get really busy today. But to Nolan DeZodel, Mark Bracken, the whole organizing committee here at the tournament, the Trappers, and all the teams, just it's been phenomenal. Some of the conversations we've been able to have over the week, and certainly a lot of fun here.
I don't get it. Relax. It's all good.
I can do whatever I fucking want. If I don't talk to you, I can do whatever I want.
Are you done?
Why do you have to say that?
Josue Pelly really into it with Steve Cochran.
Yeah, the coach better get in there. He might not be around for a while. Obviously not happy with that call and that pitch, but
Play.
and again, we talked about this yesterday, Peter, you know, the importance of these games, and there's going to be a little bit of emotion in the games, that's for sure. And
Pelly a mile in the air. And Kindrachuk settles under it.
so Pelly pops out to the left fielder, Kobe Kindrachuk, for the first out here in the top of the third. And we talk about that emotion that comes up in these games, and, you know, good job by the plate umpire there to kind of let him vent for a second, and, you know, it got him calmed down after a while. And, you know, you'd hate to see anyone get thrown out of a game of this magnitude, but obviously you need to make sure that you don't go too far with getting upset.
Pool cue shot, and it had so much English on it that Rhett Fazer could never collect it. And David Gauthier finds himself at first for the second time in the game.
That's unfortunate. You know, great pitch there, gets Gauthier out in front of that one, and just like you said, Peter, too much spin and kind of rolls around the edge of his glove and pops out, and Gauthier is going to reach on the, I would assume would be an error on that play.
Did you happen to notice how much that ball was spinning after he made contact with it?
Still kind of spun away from him. You notice that usually those baseballs, when they're hit, will spin towards the foul line, and we kind of see that little bit of a lip here at Curry Field kind of take into play again, but that actually came back towards Fazer at the mound, but unfortunately unable to pick it up and make the play there. That play is ruled in error on that, so.
Gauthier has already stolen a base today. That was a key part of the 2-run top of the first for the two-time defending champions from Quebec. And the dangerous center fielder, 30-year-old from Trois-Rivières, Raphael Gladue, in search of another hit, and he has 9 of them now in the tournament. There goes Gauthier. Claggett, this throw is in time.
Just a really nice throw there from catcher Josh Claggett. Didn't look like Gauthier had the best jump there, as Fazer had thrown over before that and kept him close, but
I don't know if he knows.
a little bit of a jump there. We see Gauthier making his way to second, and that throw right on the money by catcher Josh Claggett. And Gauthier caught stealing here in the top of the third inning as the second out.
Scoreboard's wrong. 2 strikes.
Peyton Friesen applies the tag at shortstop. And there's 2 strikes on Gladue. This'll find foul territory.
So like you heard from home plate umpire Steve Cochran there, the count now no balls and 2 strikes.
Gladue already with a hit and a run batted in today, his third of the competition. Hits to all fields and hits to all fields with power. Maybe a changeup.
Yeah, good pitch there by Fazer. Gets that changeup down and almost got Gladue to bite, but he holds his swing. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's Josh Claggett who made a strong throw to
That's the last batter.
get David Gauthier on a steal attempt, just making sure of the count. And Gladue fouls this away as well.
Gotta have fun, man.
Good at bat here by Gladue, making Fazer throw a few pitches to get through this at bat.
Still 2 strikes.
Raphael having a marvelous year back home in the Quebec League, hitting .521 for Shawinigan. Swing and a miss, strikes him out.
Graham! Graham!
Rhett Fazer is a battler.
No, him.
2-2 it remains in this semi-final game of the Canadian Senior Men's Championship. Two, exactly the type of semifinal you would hope for, with a trip to this evening's gold medal game on the line. The host Regina Trappers will tangle with the Charlottetown Islanders in the next semifinal. That game is set to begin at 12:30.
Going to be a great, great day of baseball here at Curry Field.
Dylan Soley fouls it back. And so far, it would appear Mother Nature is playing along quite nicely.
Actually, looks like our flags are blown the other way.
It's true. Soley, Gladue, and Martin had to go aways, and Martin with a sliding catch.
Great play there by the left fielder, Jonathan Martin. That ball kind of off the end of the bat a little bit. Martin makes his way in. Nice sliding catch there. And the lefty comes up with the grab in the first out here in the bottom of the third inning.
In games of this magnitude, Saskatchewan gives up the first 2 runs. Peyton Friesen in the bottom of the first with a huge run batted in. And I think in so many ways, if Saskatchewan was to find a way, that was a critical, critical moment.
It is, and I mean, it's 2-0, not a big lead, but when you're playing against this Quebec squad, they are a very tough team when they have the lead. And the fact that you're able to come right back there and show your starting pitcher, Rhett Fazer, that you're able to get a run back for him, not only does it help your team, but it helps him. He goes back out to the mound, gets in a little bit of trouble, but you know what? Works through it. No problem there. They get another one back for him, and now we're right back where we started.
As Paquette deals, and that was a fabulous slider. Swung on and missed by Friesen for out number 2.
Pretty much can't place that any better as we see the bottom drop out of that one right on the inside portion of the plate where Morin had his glove, and Paquette picks up the strikeout for the second out here in the bottom of the third inning.
And his second strikeout of the contest, facing Lucas Geisler. Hit it well. An excellent defensive play on a liner by second baseman Leonardo Ochoa, who had to shield his eyes and climb the ladder. And Geisler, a big cut. Can't tell you how impressed I've been with this 19-year-old from Belcaris. Came into the day hitting .600 now 9 for 16. He has 3 3-hit games.
Pretty impressive for a tournament of this magnitude and this level for sure.
And a player of his age.
Absolutely.
Who played at Lasser College this year in Susansville, California. And looks at strike 3. Paquette and Fazer might both be into a groove. 2-2 after 3 in the semifinal at the Canadian Championships.
Right now, I'd say go up a bit, right?
2-2. Quebec scored 2 in the first. And Team Saskatchewan with 1 in both the first and the second. Here's the always dangerous Leonardo Ochoa playing at second base, the 35-year-old. Was a draft pick, a very late draft pick, I might add, of the San Francisco Giants, all the way back in the year 2008. Played for his country at a WBSC Pan Am qualifier in 2021. And when you're in that type of neighborhood to play for our national team in any type of event, you know that you're still a pretty good player.
Oh, absolutely.
A sweeper and a good one from Unity's Rhett Fazer.
I will say I'm a big fan of his batting gloves. Probably one of the more colorful sets of gloves and cleats we've seen here this week.
He's not old enough to have grown up watching Happy Days. But if he did, the batting gloves would tell you he was a really big fan of Pinky Tuscadero, who was involved once in the Malachi Crunch. No crunch on that at bat as Fazer throws a terrific pitch, as he has back-to-back strikeouts himself, and sits down Leonardo Ochoa.
So I will say, Peter, I had a professional reach out to me, my mom, who is quite well versed in French, and said you're doing very well with the French pronunciation so far.
Never met your mom, but I'm a big fan already. Edouard Savoie in the lineup today, and I don't think there's any question that he's probably been battling an injury. In fact, just thinking about it, I think he was shaken up the first time these two teams played late in the game.
Yes. And again, you talked about it with the depth of a team of Quebec when they come to these tournaments. They want to make sure they're putting the best 9 players out on the field. So in this case, it might have ended up that Savoie needed a couple of days to rest, and we see him back in action here now.
Down the line, but it will curl foul. Savoie, the designated hitter today, popped up to first baseman Dylan Soley back in the second.
You get a look at that last hit there from Savoie. That one well foul, and you're safe, Clark. It went past you guys.
In on the hands.
This one might. Oop, just missed you again.
Muscled over top of the IKS trailer. And a thank you to Clark Monroe and everyone. These are long days for all our camera people, people in the truck, and I applaud them greatly.
100%. They've been fantastic. Good miss there from Fazer. Gets that one down and in.
Edouard
Oh, there's
batting .403.
our friend out in center field. Give him a wave.
For Lauren Teed in the Quebec League, and he draws a 1-out walk in the fourth. So a good at-bat results in a walk. Fouled off a couple of two-strike pitches. And this is Michel Dagenet. There's another indication right there that gentleman is not at 100%.
Yep. So we're going to have a pinch runner here for Team Quebec as Savoie makes his way out of the game. And Tyler Bauart going to make his way into the game. Oh, my apologies, Ryan.
From Ile Parot, Quebec.
Play.
Ryan Bauart.
Ryan plays his club ball with the Big Bill Dakota Cook in the LBMQ.
And has played a lot of shortstop in this tournament.
He has.
Michel Dagenet, the move from Fazer, and almost threw it past Dylan Soley, who recovered nicely.
Get a look at that play there as Fazer throws over, and good job by Dylan Soley as he tracks that one down and keeps it from going down the right field line.
Dagenet looks at a strike.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He has a base hit in the game.
See that little bit of an interaction there between Dagenet and the home plate umpire, and I will tell you, Michel came on to the podcast with me before the tournament to talk about Team Quebec and their chances here this week, and just a very well-spoken, well-mannered individual. It was so great to talk to.
Fazer, another quality pitch to get the dangerous Dagenet for out number 2 and his fourth strikeout of the morning. So 2 out for catcher Guillaume Marin. He has a base hit today. Snap throw. Ends up with Dylan Smith in right. As Josh Claggett had a ball get away.
So we'll get a look at that replay here. And Peter, I like the aggressiveness and trying to throw backdoor there. With 2 outs, your pitchers really worked hard this inning to get a couple of outs at the plate. Just eat that. Don't throw that one down there unless you're 100% sure that you're going to get that runner. He stays at first. Now moves into scoring position with 2 outs. That one's fouled off down the right field line by Guillaume Moret. But yeah, I feel like that's something you just don't need to do in that point in time in a game, especially a 2-2 game like this.
And in a sense, you have a 23-year-old catcher.
Yep. No.
Those are things you can learn from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sure the coaches will talk to him when he goes in, and just, you know, that's something you have to be just so sure of when you're doing that.
I called that a strike. The first one was a strike. Second one.
Now there's some concern
Strike on that.
again.
Threw away? The one he threw away. I had a strike.
Everyone, see, you call a ball. I'm not kidding.
No, I called a strike.
Are you
I
serious?
called a strike. You know, I have 2 strikes.
The contention, as Coach LeMay comes running out of the dugout, was not about the last pitch. We saw that was fouled off. It was about the pitch that led to the throwing error prior to it.
And Moran thought that one was a ball, but as you heard there on our microphones, Steve Cochran said that one was called a strike. So the count now is no balls and 2 strikes.
Pinch runner, Ryan Bawar in scoring position. A base hit from Moran. He'll get the wave. He fell down. Gets up and scores.
And not to key in on the bad here, but again, we look at that throwing error now and what that means at first base is Bauart with a little bit of a stumble coming around third base there, but still with lots of speed, able to get in and score easily there on that RBI single from catcher Guillaume Morin.
Guillaume Morin, 2 for 2. He's up to 7 hits here in Regina. None more important than that one. Way up off the bat of Aspect. Devin Farrell takes care of business. The 2-time defending champions from Quebec are back in front. They lead it 3-2. Jonathan Paquette now back to work with a 1-run lead, a RBI single off the bat of Guillaume Morin.
Good now. Thank you, sir.
Saskatchewan trailed 2-0. Battled back to tie it. They're in a position where they trail again, and they've been somewhat comfortable in it at times during the week. Kobe Kindrachuk. Guillaume Morin doesn't know where it is. Doesn't matter.
Just to our left here in front of us in the stands.
I mentioned last night that you would have had to be Spider-Man or Superman to make that play.
I think the team's still 6 today, still same height for the net.
Kobe Kindrachuk singled and scored.
Ouch.
And hope that Steve Cochran's okay. Our home plate umpire is
Good one, where's good in the face.
a surprise bunt attempt by Kobe Kindrachuk, the 29-year-old from Saskatoon, who gets an opportunity to check in on the umpire.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, it'll stop stinging in about an hour. Yes, sir. I have 2 strikes.
Don't worry. I think we have some ice here.
Oh, before the day is over, there'll be a lot of iced products. Don't kid yourself. 3 strikeouts in a row for Paquette, who is really starting to find his best stuff.
Yeah, another good fastball there, able to get Kinderstruck to swing through that one, and 4 strikeouts on the day now for the young right-hander, who's now going to contend with third baseman Joel Baumel.
Baumel the other way towards Gauthier, and he'll make the routine catch, and quickly they're 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. 25-year-old Saskatoon product, Devin Farrell, who is a member of the Saskatoon Outlaws, and he is hit by the pitch. Remember, it was the bottom part of the order that manufactured the second run of the game for Team Saskatchewan.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep. That one looked like it might have stung a bit, although it looked like it caught him on the pad that he had in his elbow there. But either way, he's going to make his way down to first with 2 outs. And right fielder Dylan Smith going to get his second at bat of the game.
He was walked in the second. 5 for 6 in the tournament. Cole Workin might very well be in the Team Saskatchewan lineup if he was here.
Mm-hmm.
We heard a great story from my old friend, Gerald Baum, longtime broadcaster in Saskatoon, to say that Cole went away to a wedding and will return before the day is over.
Yeah, so a little bit of a hole in their lineup there, but obviously
Out ball.
that's why you bring a team of 21 to nationals, right? And obviously the 9 that are in the lineup here right now have played very well today, and I'm sure if Cole's back later in the day, he'll be in the lineup no matter what game they're playing in.
Well, in his absence, Dylan Smith has gone 5 for 6. And he works his way into a hitter's count at 3 balls and a strike, 2 out. Quebec leading in the semifinal affair versus Team Saskatchewan by a run. And Paquette delivers a curveball for a strike.
Guillaume Morin kind of directing the defense here. The full count with 2 outs, so the runner's going to be on the move, so just directing defense to come across the diamond with this one.
Smith finds a hole. Gauthier, you know he's got a great arm. Farrell goes first to third. He was running on the pitch. And a threat again created by the bottom of the order.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Bottom of the order coming through hot here again. Dylan Smith breaks that one between first and second to right field for a single. The base runner, Devin Farrell, on the move on the full count pitch. He slides into third safely there on that throw from David Gauthier in left field as that one short hops Josue Pelé at third. And Team Saskatchewan back in business here. Runners on the corners with 2 outs and back to the top of the order for Tom Hooker.
He's 1 for 2. And looks at a breaking ball on the outer half for strike 1. The 33-year-old from Humboldt.
Good pitch there from Paquette. Little changeup that kind of dies in front of the plate, and good block there by Morin to keep that one in front.
Tom also battling a bit of an injury. Runner on the move, and Morin just saved a run.
Absolutely.
Time.
Runner going to get the second base, but more importantly, what a block there by Quebec catcher Guillaume Morin as we get a shot of him here on the camera right now. But big backhand pickup there keeps that one in front and keeps the runner at third base. We get another look at it here, and that's a tough pickup, Peter. Very tough to get to that one. Batter there included, so.
Hooker stays alive.
No lack of defense that we've seen here this week, that's for sure.
There's been some great stuff.
Last time Hooker was in this scenario at the plate, he ended up fouling off 3, 4, 5 pitches off of right-hander Jonathan Paquette, and certainly able to grind out an at-bat here and hoping he can come through with a hit for his team.
Grounded out the last time. Paquette has to set himself, and he one-hopped it to Dagenet, but he dug it out. So a fabulous play at home on a pitch in the dirt, and then a ball in the dirt at first. It remains 3-2 Quebec through 4 in this semifinal here in Regina. Three-two. Quebec in front of Team Saskatchewan in this semifinal. Both teams will play again today regardless of the outcome. But the outcome you want is a win that propels you in to tonight's gold medal game, where Quebec has been the last 2 years in a row and beat the Regina Trappers twice.
Absolutely.
Will it happen for a third time?
I would say Rhett Fazer might want to have something to say about that.
I think he already has, in a sense. Jonathan Martin clobbers it. Way up the hill, but foul.
Good piece there from Martin, but we'll get a look at this one from the plate. That one goes well foul, well up onto the hill, but you got a good piece of that one.
A good piece. Couldn't hit it any farther with a bazooka.
It's a really good 0-2 pitch there from Fazer after he let a batter get his hands out and get a piece of one like that. Comes right back inside and, again, changes your eye level, changes your location, makes it harder for the batter.
Friesen. Martin even let up a little bit at the end. And there's one away.
Good pitch there by Fazer. Gets that ground ball in the short. Good throw across the diamond there from Friesen, and Soleil makes the grab, and Martin down for the first out here in the top of the fifth. We're cruising right along here.
Martin 0 for 3, and he just missed, adding to the advantage. Josue Pelly looks at strike one. He is grounded out to third and flown out to left. Came into the day hitting .316 in the tournament with 3 doubles and 5 runs batted in. So that average is down from there.
I know from talking to head coach Jean-Philippe Lemay before the tournament, Pele is one of their captains of this team, and you can tell by the way he plays on the field that just a number of different positions that he plays. Does some catching sometimes. I don't think he's done any of this tournament, but plays third, plays the outfield, he pitches. So certainly a very versatile player.
He lines out to Devin Farrell at second, who started to jump and then went, no, I don't have to.
sometimes it's really hard to read those line drives because you never know if they have top spin on them or not. Might be rising, might be coming back down to you, but either way, good play there by Farrell.
David Gauthier has contributed, singled and scored, reached on an error, a pool cue, shot off his bat that was spinning when it went off Rhett Fazer's glove, but he was thrown out attempting to steal second after stealing second base in the first.
Two really good pitches there from Fazer, both on the outside part of the plate, and he's ahead 0-2 now. Skips that one in, and good block there from the catcher, Josh Claggett. And being a catcher, and Peter, we've talked about this throughout the week when I started catching when I was younger. To me, it shows a lot that no one on base, and, Claggett still goes down, block that, keep it in front, and, it's something you don't get to do too often in a game, but something you want to definitely shows a lot of character to me from a player as a catcher.
Gauthier fouls it away. He was the winning pitcher in last year's gold medal game. Pitched a complete game shutout, 2-0 over the Regina Trappers. And don't be surprised if they make it into the title game if he potentially doesn't get the ball again.
Absolutely.
He did throw 2 1/3 in the win last night over Team Alberta, the Calgary Rockies, who put on a nice show here in Regina.
And he's takes care of himself very well, and I would have a feeling that him throwing those innings, didn't throw too many pitches in those 2 1/3 innings, but probably just a little bit of a bullpen type, live bullpen type of thing to get him ready to go for today.
And he's a good hitter, too, as he's shown in the tournament and on this day.
One of the top players for the Castile de Acton Vale and the LBMQ, both on the mound and at the plate.
6-1 there on the mound. .298 is his batting average. This one in the air towards Lucas Geisler.
Real good bounce back inning there from Fazer. It's a tough part of the Quebec order, 3 up, 3 down.
His first 1-2-3 inning of the game. Saskatchewan trailing by a run in this semifinal game of the Canadian Senior Men's Championships. Josh Claggett, Dylan Soley, and shortstop Peyton Friesen due up for Saskatchewan, trailing in this semifinal 3-2. Second meeting of these two teams of the tournament. They played in the very first game of it on Thursday morning, with Team Saskatchewan pulling off the upset of the two-time reigning champions from Quebec 4-3. We're in a very similar neighborhood on this Sunday.
Absolutely tight game coming into the bottom of the fifth here, and both teams certainly right now have left it all out in the field so far.
Claggett in search of his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 2. does have 4 hits during the event. Paquette missing in. Josh spent a little time at Arizona Western College. This one lifted high in the air to left center. Gladue over. 1 away.
See Claggett there after he popped that ball up, though, showing a little bit of frustration. I think he got a pitch there that he felt he could handle and
Even on a catcher zone.
just misses it there, as we'll probably have a peek at that here in a second on replay. But good pitch there from Paquet as he's able to get Claggett to fly out to center field. Gladue makes his way over. He'll make the catch. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th.
A bouncer to Dylan Soley on the first pitch. The Saskatchewan first baseman is lined out to second and flown out to left. 25 years of age, an impressive 5 for 11 in the tournament.
Ball, that's up.
Finds himself ahead in this at bat now, 2-0.
And he has some pop, too.
Mm-hmm.
Gets underneath it. Moran had trouble with it.
Ooh.
And really had trouble with it. Because of the sun, where the catcher is, and I've noticed this all week, that when a ball goes into the air behind the catcher, it's really difficult for them to locate it.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm just paying attention here to what Carter Bame's asking the umpire. I think he was just asking if it tipped his glove, if it was in fair ball territory. But Moran was well foul there when he made contact with that ball. So foul ball. But absolutely, Peter. To your point, it's once you get looking up in the sky as a catcher, and I think at first Moran didn't really see that until Paquet and Dagenet and a few others started to point it out to him. And then got settled under it, but then at that point you're kind of moving around a little bit to try and make that play and get disoriented a little bit, and just pops out of his glove and drops foul.
It's happened to him a couple of other times. He didn't have to make a play on a ball before, but the reaction off the bat was the same.
Absolutely.
Soley in on the hands. 2-2, 1 out, bottom of the 5th. In this semifinal game, the Regina Trappers, the host team, will take on New Brunswick, the Charlottetown Islanders, in our second semifinal, slated for 12:30. Bronze medal game at 4. Gold medal game, if everything is on time, for 7 o'clock. Might be a little later. I have a sneaking suspicion. Soley's good at bat continues.
Thanks, buddy.
Mentioned earlier, he's a member of the Regina Rockies, who will play
Go full, 3-2.
the Regina Trappers in the Qu'Appelle Valley Best of 5 league final. A few days after this tournament comes to a conclusion, nobody will be ready right away to participate.
Well, I think they might need a few days to rest up, that's for sure.
Maybe more so emotionally than physically.
I would agree with that, absolutely. These days always very draining, especially once you get into medal contention, depending on where you end up.
He's up, full 4. Did he go?
Good at bat there from Dylan Soley, and I'm sure we'll see that last pitch on replay here in a second, but I thought that was the right call. Looked like he held up. That pitch was up for sure.
Thanks, buddy.
We'll have a look here at the swing, and yep, good hold there. He doesn't go on that one, and he'll make his way down to first here with the 1 out walk, and shortstop Peyton Friesen going to make his way to the plate.
Coming your way.
Peyton is driven in, one of the 2 Team Saskatchewan runs. And had a big cut, but behind the fastball that time was the 25-year-old who calls Regina home. He'll be in that league final, too, against the Trappers.
That's up.
He wouldn't mind facing the Trappers potentially today,
I think they'd be pretty happy with that.
but at night,
Yes.
not in the afternoon,
That's correct.
just to completely clarify. Through the middle as it makes its way past the shortstop, Tristan Aspect. And Peyton Friesen continues to swing it well late in the week. He has his second hit of the game.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there. Doesn't try to do too much with that pitch. Good pitch on the outside corner there from Jonathan Paquette. And Friesen drives it right back up the box into center field. And once again, just like last inning, Team Saskatchewan threatening here. Runners at first and second, and only one out for center fielder Lucas Geisler.
Ball, that's down.
Another good block by Moran. None better or bigger than the glove save he made. That's what it looked like. With a runner at third in the last inning to keep it at 3-2.
That's up. Ball.
Here from home plate umpire, that pitch missing up. So count now 2-0 on Geisler. And as you mentioned before, Peter, having a really good tournament here. Had a good game against these guys in the opener with 3 hits. So he takes that one for a strike. 0-4 today, but looking to try and break out here if he can at the right time.
Geisler 9 hits in total in the tournament.
Ball, that's up.
And shows a good eye to stay off the high fastball. One of the big differences between these two teams for me, outside of just championship experience, is power. Saskatchewan's more of a singles and doubles type team. They do not have the type of pop in their lineup that
He's there.
Quebec has.
Definitely not, no. But have certainly made it work throughout the week. And, you know, when you can single and double teams to death, it's, you know, it's just as good as the power that you have there. As Geisler take that pitch for a ball, and he'll make his way down to first here. And this is the first kind of real serious jam that Jonathan Paquet has been in here for a bit, as he has the bases loaded now with 1 out, and we're going to get a trip to the mound here from one of the Quebec coaches. As Kobe Kinderstruck going to be the next batter here for the Team Saskatchewan. It looks
He's
like that's
taking
gonna
the
be it.
ball.
Yeah.
And a right-hander to face a right-hander is going to come into the game as Paquette's day is over with 1 out and the bases loaded. As he gets handshakes all around on his way back to the Quebec dugout.
So it looks like there's going to be a couple of switches here defensively. It looks like Tyler Bauwart is going to come in and play defense. And Bauwart came in for Savoie. So their DH is now in the game. I believe that Tristan Aspect is going to move over to third. And the new pitcher is going to be number 12, Josue Pelé. So we get a peek here at the work today from right-hander Jonathan Paquet and his time on the mound. Great job by the righty. Comes out of this game with the lead. Certainly had a great day on the mound here. We're just pulling up his numbers now. Final line on Paquette. 4 1/3 innings, 2 runs, both of them unearned on 5 hits, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. As Josue Pelé going to take over in this game now for Team Quebec, as you see him there in your picture now starting to get loose.
The right-hander, you talked about his versatility, and he finds himself in a crucial spot because when Coach LeMay went to the mound with a purpose, the first thing that was going through my mind was this. I've not seen anybody warming up today unless they've snuck somebody in behind the bleachers to do it. So I was really wondering who was going to come into the game. And the warm-up, you just saw all of it. In fact, the 37-year-old from Quebec City into the game as a pitcher in a 3-2 lead in this semifinal in the bottom of the fifth. Kobe Kindrachuk, the 29-year-old outfielder from Saskatoon. Off the bare hand, Bauer for one. A double play to end the inning. Well, you can't accomplish much more than Pelly did with one pitch.
Right there, one pitch right back up the middle here. Quite an easy play there for the shortstop as Bauer goes across, steps on second on the way through. So we see it, as we makes the throw on to first. And just like that, one pitch, 2 outs, and Quebec escapes another jam.
Saskatchewan loads the bases with 1 out. Josue Pelly moves from third onto the mound, throws one pitch, and induces an inning-ending double play to keep Quebec in front by a run. Gladue drills it. Foul. Raphael, always dangerous.
Yeah, another close call there for Team Quebec as Jonathan Martin put one 2/3 of the way up the hill last inning as well, but also foul. And
change up from Phaser was a dandy that had Gladue out in front. So 2 strikes to the outstanding center fielder.
That's a great sequence of pitches there from Rhett Fesser as he gets a very tough hitter on 3 pitches. 2 of those big sweepers that just keep on going away, and fortunately Gladue comes up empty on that swing. He's down on strikes for the first out.
Second time Gladue is struck out versus Phaser. I cannot say enough about the work that Rhett Phaser has done in this championship, and both of his games have been against the 2-time defending champions from Quebec. A complete game win in the tournament opener, and he has more than upheld his end of the bargain in this semifinal game. As I think that's David Gauthier up and throwing now in the bullpen.
We were kind of laughing at the monitor between innings there, Peter, but we saw him down there. He must have a rip in his sock or a blister or something going on, but he was putting duct tape around his foot. A little bit of an unconventional fix there for whatever he had going on.
Leonardo Ochoa, the 35-year-old second baseman, has his second hit as he launches it into the outfield.
Another good swing there from Ochoa as he reaches base again and sets the table here with 1 out for Team Quebec.
Shortstop Ryan Bauert. A slap bunt, which is very prominent in fast pitch softball, but not in baseball. You don't see that almost ever.
No.
And there's 2 down as it does move Ochoa up into scoring position.
Yep, so he's in scoring position again with 2 outs here. And the first baseman, Michel Dagenet, going to make his way to the plate.
And with a base open, certainly wouldn't want to give him anything he could absolutely turn on. However, the next batter is catcher Guillaume Morin, who has 2 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Just never feels like an easy out in this Quebec lineup. Dagenet with a hit. Here comes Ochoa. The throw home from Dylan Smith. Not in time.
Safe.
And Quebec
Right across the plate.
back in front by 2 for the second time in the affair.
Time.
Good piece there by Dagenet. Just enough to get it to the outfield there. Drops in for the single. Good throw from the right fielder, right on the money at home plate as Dylan Smith throws a strike to the catcher, Josh Claggett, but just a tad bit late as Ochoa able to come across with the 4th run of the game for Team Quebec. And Peter, we were talking about it between innings, getting those scoring chances and being able to capitalize on them. And Quebec has now done that twice, where in the last 2 innings, Saskatchewan's left 5 runners on base in those 2 innings.
Guillaume Morin already with a pair of hits. One that drove in a run, the 3-2 go-ahead run in the 4th, which was aided by a throwing error. Every pitch, every play matters in these types of games, especially contests that play themselves out the way this one has.
100%.
We have not had a lot of low-scoring 3-2, 4-3 kind of games here this week.
Nope. And then when you get into these situations where a little more on the line, those errors kind of stick out a little bit, and not to keep kind of beating a dead horse here, but certainly puts it in a situation where it's harder for your team to come back. Now, we talked about it a little bit earlier in the inning, David Gauthier throwing in the Team Quebec bullpen. I see now down the line that right-hander Andrew Baum has started to throw down in the Team Saskatchewan bullpen as Morin going to take the walk there down to first. And we're going to get a trip to the mound here by Coach Curtis Strebe.
Curtis actually started at second base when Team Saskatchewan played Quebec in the round robin in the opening game of the entire tournament.
How are we doing?
Curtis is looking to give his reliever a little bit more time and just to maybe settle Rhett Fazer, who's been very, very good. Again, I saw his reaction. He did not like
Pitch,
the
right?
pitch that he threw to Dagenet.
What number?
He was up in the count.
Yeah.
What number?
Dagenet, he will be run for now with 2 outs in the 6th as he has
Who do you go in for? 24.
driven in a huge insurance run.
Who was on second there? Who was on second?
So number 20, Alexandre Lapointe, going to
55.
come in and run for Dagenet at
Thank
second
you.
base.
As Tristan Aspect helps our home plate umpire with the changes.
One of the cool things, Peter, I just had to come across my phone, and I believe that we talked about this a little bit off air, but Saskatchewan pitcher Rhett Fazer has a little bit of a connection to where I grew up in New Brunswick. Rhett was the import for the Chatham Ironman back in 2019. That was the last time that Chatham hosted these same national championships. He had a 4-1 record that year for the Ironman and a 3.14 ERA, so Thanks to Bill Saunders for reaching out with me of that information, and Bill just wrote 2 great books back home all about the history of the New Brunswick Senior League, pretty much from the 60s all the way till now.
And they'll be the host of next year's tournament. Joel Baumel gets Tristan Aspect. Quebec.
No.
A huge run batted in by first baseman Michel Dagenet, who will leave the game. He was pinch run for, but his damage could very well propel Quebec into a 3rd straight senior men's Canadian final. They lead by a pair. Quebec with an important insurance run in the top half of the 6th. Team Saskatchewan battled back early from down 2. They're going to have to do it again if they're to play for gold tonight at 7 o'clock against either the host, Regina Trappers, or Team New Brunswick, the Charlottetown Islanders. Jonathan Martin has moved from left field to first base. We know that Alexandre Lapointe came in to run, and I believe that's him out in left. Ochoa, who's had a big day at the plate, goes to first for out number 1. So many key moments in this game. None more so than the first pitch that Josue Pelly threw in relief. He came in the last inning, bases loaded, only 1 out. The one pitch was to Kobe Kindrachuk, who grounded it back up the middle. I think it may have even gone off the right hand of the pitcher. Before Ryan Bauert, the shortstop, ended up turning the double play to end the thread. And then Quebec adds to the advantage.
For sure, and I mean, that hurts a lot. We talked about last couple of innings, the chances that Team Saskatchewan's had. They second and third with 2 outs. They had the bases loaded, 1 out. And, in these types of games, you need to take advantage of those opportunities.
Devin Farrell just finds the seats as both Martin and Morin went to the fence, hoping that it would stay in play.
And Pelly is that type of pitcher when he comes in, and I've got to see him throw a couple of years ago when I stopped at a game in Victoriaville, and he's come after you type of stuff. Like here's your fastball, and he'll change change arm slots. He'll change speeds. He'll do everything. He does have a little bit of a slider and some off-speed stuff, but plate umpire going to go for a bit of a walk here and clean the plate as Morin took that one in the left shoulder.
You good? Okay, buddy. Thanks.
Giving the catcher time to get himself set.
Play.
And see, those are the moments that you don't always think about involving the umpires. Bauer into the dirt, and the new first baseman scoops it out.
Yeah, what a play there by Jonathan Martin as he comes from the outfield to the infield and right away gets thrown into the mix as Bauart with the throw across the diamond low, but look at that stretch and scoop there from Martin, and that's 2 outs now as Farrell grounds out. Again, we're at the bottom of the order here, so Dylan Smith going to make his way to the plate with Tom Hooker waiting on deck.
And Dylan is 6 for 7 officially in the competition. Didn't play a lot early, has played a lot late, and has made the most of it. Just 21 years of age from Humboldt.
Good swing on that pitch as he fouls it back into the netting.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
The last couple of years, he's played baseball at Williston State Junior
1-1.
College, Northland
Play.
Community College, which is in Thief River Falls, Minnesota.
Uh-oh.
And this is well struck, but Gladue makes the running catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Josue Pelly and Quebec, and they find themselves 3 outs away from having a chance to three-peat at the Canadian Senior Men's Championship.
How we doing?
Brett Fazer gives Saskatchewan 6 excellent innings today, as Curtis Struby and the coaching staff of Team Saskatchewan send Andrew Baum into the game.
We get a look at some of Rhett Fazer's work today on the mound, and again, Peter, we talked about, he exits this game down 4-2, but not only throwing once this weekend, but twice, and both against a very, very good hitting Quebec team. And can't say enough about the tournament that Rhett Fazer had this year for Team Saskatchewan and the effort he put in today. And exits this game, still giving his team a chance as we enter into the 7th inning here, only trailing by 2, but certainly a little bit of a hill to climb here for the Sask boys over on the third base dugout.
Okay.
Well, one of the big reasons, literally, that Saskatchewan was able to win their pool had a lot to do with the gentleman on the mound from Saskatoon, Andrew Baum. Came into a game against New Brunswick with his team down 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
And through 3 really good innings in relief. I think he actually did
Play.
get credit for giving up a couple of those 5 runs, but still shut the door to keep his team in it.
And that's so important. when you come into those games, it's very easy just to kind of put your head down. You go out, you notice body language, but Andrew just walked out to the mound. He said, I'm going to keep going. And I think that kind of spurred the bats on a little bit too, as you kind of saw the energy come back into the team a little bit, and full marks to Andrew Baum for doing such a great job that game.
4-2. Quebec in front, trying to win the title for a third year in a row. And they lost 2 of their first 3 games, as they did a year ago in Tecumseh, Ontario.
3 balls.
Yep. And a team like this, it's hard to keep them down, and if they do get into that playoff round, it's like they can find an extra gear, and certainly not very easy to contend with once they get rolling for sure.
As Baum walks the leadoff man, Jonathan Martin,
Thanks, buddy.
to open up the 7th. And they most certainly, talking about Saskatchewan, cannot afford to give up another run.
No, that's for sure. And we'll see what Team Quebec's plans are here. They have a runner on with nobody out. Josue Pele at the dish. Gets a few signs there from the third base coach, and he is going to square around here early.
Ball.
That pitch up and in, and he'll spin back and out of the way.
Josue Pele is quite the character. We've seen all of it in this game, whether it's a mini altercation with the home plate umpire. He's very engaged.
That's for sure. And I you know what?
And that's a credit to him.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, everyone's going to be competitive on the field, that's for sure.
That's in.
And, you know, we kind of saw a little bit of that fiery side from him back in the first inning, but I've had the chance to talk to him off the field a few times and even on the field when I've seen games, and just a super dude to talk to. Very nice and down to earth, and really loves being around the game.
He's 37 years old. He's been around it for a while and still playing at a very high level.
Mm-hmm.
And poor Andrew Baum has thrown 7 pitches, and they've all been balls.
Finds the zone with that one for strike 1.
I would think he's probably taking another strike right here.
Yeah, I would think so.
Nope, he is not.
And Pelly kind of playing the game within the game a little bit here, too, as through that 3-1 pitch. You saw him kind of fake like he was going to square around bunt and pulled it back, and then kind of faked again, and then takes a hack at that pitch and fouls it off back to the screen. So kind of makes the defense wonder what's going to happen and keeps them on their toes a little bit there for sure. Wouldn't be surprised to see their runner moving here on this pitch.
Well hit to left, over the head of Kindrachuk and off the wall. Kindrachuk, a strong throw.
Good piece there by Pelly as he hits that one off the audio warehouse sign there in left field, and he's standing on second base with a stand-up double.
His first hit of this semifinal. And it carried well out there.
Yeah.
It has all week, but part of the reason for that has been very strong winds. That's not the case today.
Nope, not today. The flags are laying down out there in right center right now, so that one just really well struck by Josue Pele. Is Curtis Strebe going to make another trip to the mound here, kind of get everyone on the same page defensively and probably give Baum a little bit of a breather here. We do have a pitcher down in the bullpen getting loose right now for Team Saskatchewan. We're going to try and get a peek at a number here in a second. Oh, there he is there, left-hander. So Jordan Fry getting loose down there for Team Saskatchewan. You see him kind of starting to heat up in a hurry here now as Strebe makes the slow walk back to the dugout to give him a couple more throws before we get back into action here.
Ball gets away in the bullpen. Infield in. No one out. Runners at second and third. And a 2-run Quebec lead.
And I have a feeling with that trip, this would pretty much have to be the last opportunity here for Andrew Baum. He's either got to get an out here, or I think we're going to see a pitching change, getting into the dangerous part of the order here for Team Quebec.
Behind the back of Gauthier. Would have been interesting to see the look on his face, because I could feel the dirty look even though I couldn't see it from here.
Just kind of a little bit of a glance out there and like, okay.
Not sure I'd call that a little glance. Base hit. The infield drawn in. They're going to send Pelly. He's going to score. And the wheels have come off against this two-time defending champion Quebec squad.
Yeah, a little bit of a punch single there through a drawn-in infield by David Gauthier. A little bit of a bobble out in right field. Pelly was going to get the stop sign at first, but then the coach gives him the wave, and a little bit of a short throw there from Dylan Soley. As he short hops the catcher, that goes back to the backstop. Gauthier advances to second, and we are going to have another Team Saskatchewan pitching change as Jordan Fry going to make his way into the game.
And we'll take a break. 2 more runs for Quebec. They now lead this semifinal affair by 4. Pitching change, Dan.
Left-hander Jordan Fray comes into the game here for Team Saskatchewan.
We saw Jordan earlier in the tournament. Likes to change speeds. He's not a power pitcher by any stretch of the imagination. Still no one out and 2 runs in after David Gauthier singled past the drawn-in infield, and a little bit of a bobble, because originally Josue Pelly was not going to try his luck and go home, but eventually he did. Farrell to get Gladue.
Good pitch there by Fraze. He's able to get the ground ball to Farrell. And that's going to draw the infield in again here for Team Saskatchewan, as they're going to try and keep Gauthier limited to third base only, but they got a large order here with Leonardo Ochoa, the second baseman for Team Quebec, coming up.
Who has 2 hits and has scored an all-important run as he just fails to add to the 6-2 lead. No one has driven in more runs this year back home in the Quebec Senior League, which is a fabulous league. 39 runs batted in. as Fry misses with a breaking ball down to Leonardo Ochoa. And he has had a great tournament too. He has 10 hits. He's 10 for 20 now. Soley looks the runner back. Gauthier with a little stutter step over at third after Soley went back to the bag to touch it, but he's not going anywhere. And Jordan Fry's done a nice job entering the game after Andrew Baum unfortunately was unable to get an out.
It's a good pitch there by Fry and good play there by Soley at first as he's able to go over and retire Ochoa for the second out in the inning, and real good sweeper there by Fry. He's able to get strike one on the shortstop, Bauart.
And another one that fooled Bauart. The 24-year-old from Montreal played collegiately at Concordia University in Montreal. And that very close to being strike three. Ryan 1 for 8 in the tournament. His lone hit came in yesterday's playoff win over Team Alberta, the Calgary Rockies. And they won that game handily, 11-2. They'd outscored their last two opponents 24-4 entering this playoff game. But thanks to Rhett Fazer, who just threw an excellent game for Saskatchewan again against this opponent. Gave them a great chance on this day. They'll need 4 to keep their gold medal hopes alive in this semifinal at the Senior Men's Canadians in Regina. Quebec, the two-time defending champions of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball crown, 3 outs away for an opportunity at a three-peat. Saskatchewan at the top of their order with designated hitter Tom Hooker.
Oh, that's down.
Josue Pelly has been dynamite in relief. He had thrown in 3 other games coming into this one. And by far and away, his best pitch was his first of this game. Came in with the bases loaded, taking over from the starter, Jonathan Paquette, in inning number 5. And got Kobe Kindrachuk on that first pitch to hit into an inning-ending double play to end the threat. Is Tom Hooker, and only fitting with the type of performance he's had this week, starts the bottom of the 7th with a single.
Yeah, Team Sask in a little bit of a hole here right now, but you know what? Peter, they're not going to go down quietly. We've seen that all week. Certainly going to put in every effort they have here to try and get themselves back into this one.
Well, when they came together, a collection of a lot of players from the Saskatoon Senior Men's League, which includes the team that led the way in the regular season, the Marysburg Royals. They would have been thought, I would think, to be potentially more of a middle-of-the-pack type group. Is that fair?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's where I had them ranked when I came in, and you know what? Full cards to them, man, because they've had a phenomenal week of baseball here and still going to have a chance here in this one, obviously, as well as another game later tonight.
Claggett, long fly ball, but Raphael Gladieux takes care of it, and there is one away. And barring a miraculous seventh inning here, they'll still have an opportunity later today to play for a bronze medal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I know some teams may have differing opinions on leaving here with a medal, but you know what? To get a medal at this tournament and be one of the top 3 teams in Canada is absolutely nothing to hang your head about.
Dylan Soley is the batter. Dylan 0 for 2. He is walked, and he was stranded at third base.
That's in. Ball.
That, to me, is the turning point of this game. Down 3-2, load the bases, 1 out. And Josue Pelli comes on in relief. First pitch, double play, inning over, threat over. And then the Dagenet base hit to make it 4-2 on, I believe, a 2-strike pitch.
Yes.
Off Rhett Fazer in the 6th. They've added 2 more.
3-1.
Quebec 2 outs away from advancing to the gold medal game at this event for a 3rd straight time. And Soley is hit in the right elbow, and that had to take a bite. The tailing in fastball.
Caught a piece of Moraine, too, as that one kind of skipped up and hit him in the leg after it went off the forearm solely. But just a reminder to fans, we will have some on-field interviews after this one, so please stick around on the stream as I'll make my way down to field level to have a couple of conversations following this one and tee up the next semifinal game we have here between the Regina Trappers and Team New Brunswick.
Josue Pelli at 37, he's still capable, it would look to me, like being in the high 80s.
Yeah, he can bring it.
And on the hands of Peyton Friesen, who's had a very good day at home plate. He has a couple of hits, and he drove in the first Saskatchewan run in the bottom of the first inning. A hit here makes things a little more interesting. Ochoa, little bobble, and not quite in time. Now they've got...
Yep, time.
No, it's
they called time.
Well, and I think Martin got confused because Soley was running off the field.
He confused me. Because I'm like, what is happening here?
Soley was running off the field because he was forced out at second base. The runner stays at third, which is Hooker. And then Friesen going to reach on the fielder's choice. So we have runners on the corners here with 2 outs now. And Lucas Geisler coming to the plate for Team Sask.
So Geisler, who has been the best hitter on this team, and he's a whale of an outfielder, has a great arm, the 19-year-old.
Couple of super plays this weekend on throws from the outfield, including one against these guys earlier in the round robin when he hosed Raphael Gladieux on a fly ball to left field.
That was the play of that game for me.
Absolutely.
Quebec up by 4, not worried about Peyton Friesen going to second base, which he just did.
I guess the major league ruling on that is defensive indifference.
You can give it any kind of league ruling you want.
I have 2-2.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Thank you, Mr. Cochran. Geisler hit it well. And Gladue with a fine catch to end it. And Quebec is going back to the gold medal game of the Canadian Senior Men's Championship for a 3rd consecutive time. They down a very scrappy Saskatchewan squad 6-2 in the semifinal. And another game where the final score doesn't necessarily paint the picture. Saskatchewan had their chances, especially in innings number 4 and 5. But the veteran team from Quebec, an all-star group who has shown they know how to deliver when it matters the most. And they'll get ready to play either the host Regina Trappers, who they've faced twice in the last 2 gold medal games, or Team New Brunswick, the Charlottetown Islanders. While Saskatchewan will play again today, they'll play for bronze. So Quebec, gold medal game bound here in Regina. We'll chat with a couple of their key individuals when we return to the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championships from Regina.
All right, we're down here on field level following semifinal number 1 of the Canadian Men's Baseball Championships. Team Quebec victorious over Team Saskatchewan by a score of 6-2. With me, I have head coach Jean-Philippe Lemay, as well as players Leonardo Ochoa and David Gauthier. David, I'll start with you. A pair of big hits today, a pair of RBIs in the game. We talked about it up in the booth, but talk about getting to these situations in these tournaments and how well prepared your team is for these types of games.
Yeah, we have a great group of guys. I mean, a lot of these guys have been here before, so it's always fun to be in these types of situations. I mean, we've been down last year. We know how it feels. We know what to do to win. I think we did a great job as a team to just gather hits, big hits at a good time, and then we just made it work, man.
For you in this tournament, another pair of hits, an RBI and a run scored in this one. Just walk me through your preparation coming into this game today to get ready.
I mean, we've been ready for the last 2 days, and we got out of the hole as a team. We executed still as a team, and we're now where we wanted to be.
JP, we had a ride in on the bus today as I came in with you guys from the hotel. We chatted a little bit on the bus about being prepared for these moments and having the team that you have here, and you know, a little more of a youth movement this year as well. But just talk to me about the importance of that win for your team and getting back to a 3rd gold medal game.
Well, it's been a hell of a ride since we got here. The goal was to play on Sunday, but the main goal was to leave Saskatchewan with a goal around the neck. We are the defending champs. I think we showed everyone why, and we'll be ready for tonight. I'm very proud of my guys. Very proud of my players.
Absolutely, and I'll do my best here, but est-ce que vous avez des choses à dire à des fans qui sont en Québec maintenant?
Oui, absolument. Vous êtes plusieurs à nous supporter. Ça fait chaud au cœur. Ça fait maintenant 3 consécutives qu'on se dirige vers la finale. Supporter à distance, on vous garantit comme des champions en titre. On va tout laisser sur le terrain, puis on va ramener l'or au Québec pour une 3e année consécutive.
Yes, sir.
Merci tout le monde.
Merci.
Merci tout le monde.
Peter, I'm not going to make you talk any French, but we'll go back to you in the booth.
Thank you.
Well, I could never do it the way you did it, and I love that you did it. That's fantastic, and you can see the smiles on their faces. Quebec on their way back to yet another gold medal game, third year in a row. They'll try for the three-peat. They will take on the winner of our next game. 12:30 is when that one is slated to begin, or thereabouts, and it will be the host Regina Trappers against Team New Brunswick. The Charlottetown Islanders make up the majority of that group, while Saskatchewan will get ready later today for a bronze medal game. So long for now from Curry Field in Regina.